After winning the toss and batting first, India closed on 326 for 5 after centuries from both captain Rohit Sharma and Ravindra Jadeja put them in a dominant position from being 33 for 3. We'll also look back at a maiden test half-century for middle-order batsman Sarfaraz Khan and reflect on an admirable performance from England fast bowler Mark Wood, who finished today with 3 for 69. We'll also get reaction from both camps. So plenty to come over the next 30 minutes or so. You're listening to Following On. It was a perfect start for England after losing the toss. That wasn't the perfect start, but Mark Wood's 2 early wickets and one for Tom Hartley, the left-arm spinner, in his first over put the home side in a perilous situation at 33 for 3. But Jadeja was promoted up to number 5, and together with captain Rohit Sharma, the damage was more than repaired as they took the score from 33 for 3 to 237 for 4 before Rohit Sharma was Mark Wood's 3rd wicket of the day, mistiming a hook shot to Ben Stokes at mid-wicket. Sarfaraz Khan then run out for 62, was the last joy for England. Bumble, it was another absolutely intriguing, absorbing day. It could have been a lot better for England, given the 3 early wickets. But then again, I suppose it could have been worse.
Yeah, I think India played really well, and to put Jadeja in at number 5, he's such a wonderful cricketer, and he joined Rohit Sharma at 33 for 3. So England were hunting, they were looking for wickets. Mark Wood bowling quickly and splendidly and threateningly, but they steadied the ship. England had opportunities, and particularly when Hartley bowled outside leg stump. Rohit Sharma's gone for a big hit into the leg side. He's got an outside edge. It's gone to slip. Joe Root's at slip. He's unsighted. He can't see the ball picked because it's outside leg stump. He's slightly raised in his fielding position. Then he's had to go down way to his left. He gets a hand on it and it's grassed. It goes down. It's a difficult chance, but a chance.
And as far as Mark Wood is concerned, a day of hard labour for him, 17 overs. He didn't bowl that many in the whole of the last test.
No, that's about right, isn't it? We were talking about 15, 16 overs for an impact bowler, and that's what he is. He's a quick bowler, impact. So 17 overs, I should think that's just about right for him. Jimmy Anderson had bowled a little bit more. But also England with opportunities, they'd missed 2 reviews. And we didn't see them from commentary position. We thought, well, yeah, no, it's not, is it? But when you see it, I'm going to say in VAR, in DRS, it's the same thing. DRS tells us that England have missed 2 reviews. And you've got to pick up on these things when you look at a team like India, such a good team, an excellent team, 326 for 5, it's been their day.
And the last time India played a test match on this ground, it was a while ago against the West Indies. They made 650, so England supporters need to keep things in perspective perhaps, and 5 wickets on the first day after India chose to bat first is reason for some comfort.
Yeah, it is. And you'd think that if you're bowling first on day one, if you get 7 wickets, you're almost in control. But if a team's get 326 for 5, the batting side will say, well, we'll kick on and we'll get 450, and then that batting side's controlling the game. And we must remember that Ashwin and Jadeja are better bowlers than England's young spinners. They're better bowlers. We've seen this pitch will spin. Abhishek tells us that this is going to spin more and more as the game goes on. And so, from India's perspective, we're in a great position. From England's perspective, they've got the new ball, big burst in the morning. They can go bang, bang tomorrow and suddenly 7 down. If they can think about getting India out for less than 400, England have then got to bat well in the first innings. We've said it, everybody's said it in cricket as far as I can remember. Get your big runs in the first innings.
Abhishek, as far as India are concerned, they've been in situations like this in the first 2 test matches twice, and they haven't cashed in and they haven't put the game to bed. They should have won in Hyderabad. They should have put the game so far beyond England's reach. They're not playing Akshar Patel, so their tail is a little longer than it has been for the first 2 test matches, and so there might just be a concern. I mean, 200s already, Jadeja still there. They should be thinking 500 here, but England have denied them already twice.
They should be. They still have batting. Dhruv Jurel, he's a proper player. He's a good player. And R. Ashwin loves scoring runs against England. So if these two can get a few runs, India can get close to that 500. But as Bumble said, if England can get early wickets tomorrow and stop India from getting to 400, then this test match is alive and England will have a good opportunity given they bat well in the first innings.
Thank you very much indeed to Bumble, who's got to go off and update our Talk Sport listeners. We'll be joined by Phoebe in just a second. Abhishek, the England team doesn't look at what if, and they don't set targets, and they won't be thinking if we can keep them, they just sort of take it moment by moment and just keep going. And it doesn't matter if they're chasing a target, if India are batting first as they are now, they're not thinking like, oh, they're getting close to 400, they're getting close to 450. The conventional focus on records and what's possible in history just doesn't seem to occur to them.
Yeah, it seems like that, and it's just the mindset, isn't it, that they think they can win from any situation, and it's a great mindset to have. But on a pitch like this, a deteriorating pitch, and they have to bat fourth, they have to come close to the target, whatever India puts. So they can't expect India to get a lead of 150 and come and chase 500 in the fourth innings. It's not going to happen on this pitch. It can happen on some other pitches. So they have to come close to the India target, whatever India gets in the first innings.
Phoebe, I wanted to leave the first word, and you can have the last word as well if you like, on Mark Wood and Jimmy Anderson today. I thought they were outstanding, weren't they? And Mark Wood was as quick at the end of the day as he was at the beginning.
Yeah, Hi Manners, we're back on. Yeah, I thought Mark Wood and Jimmy Anderson were absolutely phenomenal up front. I thought the partnership was so good. The fact that James Anderson was just being so economical, precise in where he was putting the ball, moving the ball in, moving the ball away, and then it enabled Mark Wood to express himself at the other end. He was bowling quick and he was getting movement away from the bat, and he got some absolute jaffers up front to get Shubman Gill and Jaswal as well.
There was a moment where it seemed to be reverse swinging, and it was definitely reverse swinging, but then it stopped. And I don't know whether you take us into the dark science and art of ball maintenance, Phoebe, but why would that have been? Why do you think it stopped reversing?
Well, it's about keeping the ball in good shape. So one side of the ball has to be rough and keeping the other ball really shiny. What we saw when the ball stopped reversing was Mark Wood going to the short ball strategy, and England were patient with that. He was getting hit for a couple of sixes, a couple of boundaries, but he managed to get Rohit Sharma in the end with that short ball strategy. But that's where England will be disappointed that the ball didn't reverse for as long as they'd have wanted to, because that was part of the tact of having two seamers in the attack, which worked very well up front. They were able to get India 3 down in the first session. But yeah, in the second session, third session, they'd have wanted the ball to reverse for that little bit longer.
For those of you who didn't see or hear the dismissals, Yashasvi Jaiswal caught by Joe Root at first slip off Mark Wood for 10. Shubman Gill caught behind by Ben Foakes off Wood for a duck, and Rajat Padittar completely miscuing a short ball in Tom Hartley's first over to cover, where Ben Duckett took the catch. Abhishek, what about Sarfaraz Khan? Finally gets a debut, first class average of 70, and made a very big impact, reaching 50 on his debut from just 48 balls, made 62. But it was clear that Jadeja was stuck in the 90s for 28 balls, and he appeared quite obviously actually to be frustrated with Sarfaraz Khan perhaps not paying attention to running singles and helping him stuck in the 90s, and eventually Jadeja called for a single to try and get to his 100, and Sarfaraz Khan, who hadn't responded a couple of times, did respond and was run out.
To be fair, he did throw him under the bus. Let's be honest. Playing his first test, he batted beautifully. I don't think many expected him to play the sort of innings he did, to show that sort of a confidence against a very matured England side. Yes, there were bowlers, Tom Hartley and Rehan didn't really particularly bowl as well as they should have, but still the sort of intent he showed, Sarfaraz Khan, going aerial, he was not shy of going over the top of the fielders. They were kept inside, and Ben Stokes was asking a lot of questions, but he had an answer for pretty much everything, Sarfaraz Khan. So he'll be disappointed. He probably wanted to get 100 in his debut, which would have been the icing on the cake, because he had to wait for so many years. He had to really rough it out there in Ranji Trophy and score millions of runs before he got this opportunity. And also that opportunity came because of some injury, because Virat Kohli opted not to play this series, and he wanted to make the most of it. So he would be a bit annoyed with Jadeja, but as you also said, yeah, he was not helping out Jadeja either, because there were a lot of opportunities where he could have gone for those singles and helped out Jadeja, because he was stuck there for 2 hours, I think, in the 90s. Ravindra Jadeja felt like it. Yeah, but at the end, a bit disappointing, but Jadeja getting 100, again, very well played to him as well.
More from both of you in a moment, but for now, let's hear from England assistant coach Paul Collingwood speaking to Graham Swan.
I'm joined here by assistant coach Paul Collingwood after a fairly tough day in the field for England, but not to be unexpected on a pitch like that.
I think you would have come off pretty grumpy bowling on a pitch that was pretty slow. But I think it's been a good day of Test cricket. Simple as that. You know, we've got a few early wickets, but then India fought back. They've got some highly skilled batsmen themselves in these conditions, and they fought back really well. But the lads stuck at it all day. Obviously, Woody's run out at the end there. Jimmy, 41, still running in hard with the new ball at the end. They stuck at it all day, and we'll find out tomorrow if we can get some early wickets, how good of a day it's been.
And you mentioned Woody's run out as well, along with the 3 wickets he got with the ball. It's been a brilliant day for him.
Yeah, and he deserves it. Sometimes he doesn't get the rewards. The skipper goes to bouncer plans with him, and sometimes doesn't get rewards. He got the rewards today. I thought his opening spell was fantastic. He got movement, and obviously Jaiswal is a big wicket, and the form that he's been in. So delighted for him. He's come off with a big smile on his face. He's chuffed to bits with the run out as much as what he is with the wickets. But I thought he, to break that partnership, getting Rowett at the time it did was really important.
And talk me through Ben Stokes, his 100th Test match. You've known him since he was knee-high to a grasshopper up in Durham, and I believe you gave him his 100th cap as well in the change room. It must be a very special moment for both of you.
Yeah, it was. Look, it's been incredible to know that man and over these years, and to present him with the cap today was pretty emotional actually, and a real honour from my point of view to be asked to do it. And it's just great to for the team to acknowledge the efforts that he's put in for club and country over the years, and to have 100 Test matches. We're all thankful that his dad came over to Cumbria and Workington Rugby League club and coached over there, and thankfully he's been tremendous for England over the years, and what a special man, and puts in special performances.
And back to this game in the morning, obviously quick wickets and try and get batting before lunch.
Yeah, look, so the morning session was a little bit cooler, and it looked like there was a bit of moisture around in the air on the ground, so it nipped around a little bit this morning. So we'll see tomorrow with that new ball. We've still got that new ball pretty fresh at the moment, so it's we'll be looking to take early wickets with it.
Well, thanks for joining me, Paul. How are the lads?
No.
I suspect the presentation of the 100th cap was more emotional for Paul Collingwood than it was for Ben Stokes, who yesterday described it as just one more than 99. But a very, very special performance. And we should, I feel I should also go back to Mark Wood's run out, because Sarfaraz Khan Wood, right at the end of what had been a hard day of toil for the fast bowler, moved so quickly and threw so powerfully and accurately, aiming at 1 1/4 stumps, that I assumed it was Ben Stokes. Just a brilliant piece of fielding. Yeah,
it was an excellent piece of work from Mark Wood in the field, and I think it just shows how much energy the England team maintained throughout the day. And we did see the shoulders drop at points, but the fact that they were able to take and capitalise on that opportunity, because I was really impressed by Sarfaraz, and I felt like he could have gone on and scored 100, even more. It looked like he was there to take his opportunity. He'd waited years for it, But then again, on the other hand, England capitalised on it. So brilliant from Mark Wood. And like Collingwood said, he was buzzing about that run out more than he was his 3 wickets.
Abhishek, a word about Rohit Sharma. The Indian captain is 37 now, and I suppose every time, unless you're in very, very elite company, you get into your late 30s and people always begin to ask questions, and is his time up? His team was under pressure. He's, the confirmation that Virat Kohli's not available for the entire series. Mohammad Shami, big names missing. It was really important. I mean, there was talk of confusion, even disarray in the Indian camp, and meanwhile England were on playing golf and on water slides in Abu Dhabi, having a great time, and it was India who were under pressure. So to be able to come out on the first day of this Test match and lead from the front in the way that he did,
I think it was very crucial for him, not just as a captain, as a batter as well, because if you see his record since 2022, he hasn't really scored a lot of runs in Test cricket. His average has dipped massively. In India, usually he averages 61. In the last couple of years, he's averaging 32. So there's a massive dip in his performance. And I think by getting this 100, his captaincy will improve as well, because everything plays a part. His decision making will be better because he'll have more confidence that he's got runs behind him. So all these things are interconnected as a cricketer. So I think it's a wonderful thing that he scored runs. And also, I think announcing that he's the captain for the T20 World Cup already has helped him a little bit. A lot of pressure has gone off him because he must be thinking that Hardik Pandya might get that opportunity to lead India. He knows that this might be his last opportunity to lead India and win an ICC event, which they haven't for a very long time. And he's somebody who's won so many IPL trophies that he would want India to win one World Cup under his leadership.
Interesting that the Mumbai Indians don't need him as captain, but India still want him as captain.
I think Mumbai Indians, it was completely different. If you see his performance in the last couple of years, because he's captaining India in all 3 formats, so it was a bit, I think it was getting a bit too much for him in the IPL, and he hasn't really performed well in the IPL in the last couple of seasons, so they just wanted him as a batter rather than as a leader.
Throw it forward then to the second morning, Phoebe. Jimmy Anderson and Mark Wood, do you start off with both of them? The new ball is only 3 overs old. So do you start with both of them?
100%. And what we saw from this morning, nearly said yesterday, what we saw from this morning was after the first 2 overs, India were 13 for none. And we got them 33 for 3. So taking the shine off the new ball in the first couple of overs was the reason why Ben Stokes took the new ball this evening with 3 overs left to play, was so that they could take the new ball with the shine off it first thing tomorrow morning, and so that Anderson and Wood can start their overs as they started them from that over number 4 and got India 33 for 3.
Very quickly, Abhishek, what's minimum for India?
450. I think 450 they will be happy. If you ask them at the toss, when they won the toss, what will you take? They would take 450.
Well, as I said, the last Test match they played here, they got 650 against the West Indies and won by an innings and 272. Thank you very much indeed to Phoebe Graham and Abhishek Junjunwala. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning with a coffee. Reminder that India finished day 1 of the 3rd Test match on 326 for 5 with Ravindra Jadeja to resume on the second morning on 110 in the company of Kuldeep Yadav.